Hello, everybody. If you've made it here, you have found your way to today's exciting race at Monza. This is round 2 of the SimRacingOnline World Series, a year-long quest for the Cup. The drivers are battling for as the series goes on. Today we'll bring in you the live action and a nice afternoon in Sharasa. My name is Rob Milliken. I've got Neil Woody, alongside with me. How you doing today, Woody?
I'm doing very good. Welcome everyone to the sunny Temple of Speed.
Yes, indeed. The sunny Temple of Speed. So, 75-minute races. Last week was very exciting. Some cool stuff was going on at our first round at Fuji, if you caught any of that. Had a really nice finish. As you can see, this is what today is up against here. We've got light cloud temperatures going to be on track about 38. It's a little bit hot on track as usual. And the regular temps are in the mid-20s, so that part should be pretty good. Let's give you a quick glance at what's been happening here. Here is last week's race. This is the finishing order everybody had. Thanks to Woody for doing all the work on this. So we are on page 2. Let's get page 1. Leading this championship is, now we've gone over the names now, so Noyles, I think, is how he pronounces his last name. Jojatan Noyles.
I think it was Gaten Noig.
Yeah,
I think.
Noig. Yeah, he said it sounds like Boyle, so I'm calling him Noyles. His new nickname is Noyles. So there you go, Noyles. Mataj in second place, always a consistent driver. Lars coming in third place with those points. Good job, Hugh Smith. It's been very consistent in this fight, and as well as last season, really good. Conrad Osman. Interesting finish. Talk about that finish he had last week, Woody. Because Conrad, they had that little pass at the end on the very last lap.
Yeah, we were busy trying to see where the leader was, and I think it was second. Was it between third and fourth? So Hugh, there was a battle for I think third, fourth, and fifth between Hugh Smith and Conrad, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. But Conrad, he was in the front up until the last complex, or the sector 3 of the lap, and we wondered why he suddenly slowed on the start-finish straight and let Hugh Smith by at the line. It was merely a bit of sportsmanship by Conrad Osman. He was well aware that he'd maybe put a little bit of a dodgy move or a dodgy rejoin in some form or some part of the race and wanted to give that place back. So pure sportsmanship from Conrad Osman on show.
Yeah, big kudos out to Conrad there for his show of sportsmanship. That's the kind of stuff that we love around here. That's what sim racing's all about, you know. It's really good stuff. Really appreciate that. So we got to give him a shout out. Let's see what we got here. We've got a few drivers on right now. There's 22. We got 27 signed up, so hopefully the other 3 or 4 will show up. There are some of your times. We've just got 5 minutes of practice left here. Getting a good look at some of these guys as they go around. We are right now focused on Robin Taylor. Goes off there. With that said, let's. I also want to give you guys a look at the overall World Series standing. So this is after 2 races today. Well, this will just be the one, but the World Series. This is the scores from the previous World Series added on. So here's you can see the top 10 in the World Series, with Lars Hagman leading the way with 323 points. Philip Pichler right behind him, 297. Hugh Smith with 291, as I talked about, very consistent. Nick Westie's right there in the 260s. So these guys are all pretty tight all the way down that top 10, with Bjorn Hagman at just squeaking into that top 10 with 191 points. Michael Rizzo right there in 9th. So there you have your World Series standings. Pretty good stuff. These guys really do a good job out here. Taylor here. Let's look at the best time is Noyles. Or no, I'm not even going to try. He can fix this again in the chat, and this goes for any of you drivers that are watching this afterwards. Just let us know. We'll just try our best. That doesn't mean we're going to get it right. As you can see, we're still struggling. But hey, at least we'll have been told how we're supposed to pronounce your name. There are some great names in here, so we went on with that. Good deal. So you can see his tech here at 149.3 is the best time on track right now in the Porsche. And you see the temp cars out there. Those are the red, white, and blue LMU Porsches. That just means that these players joined the server after myself did with my stream. And when the session changes to qualify, everybody will have their proper skin. So when you see that, that's a temp car. And it's just half the field is in a temp car right now. There's one right there. So it's Bjorn. It's in that temp car. He actually will be driving the Porsche. Westie's in the BMW. It's going to be a good grade. Lars is in that Lambo as they all gather up here the last 3 or 4 minutes. There's some guys out on track. Where's Tony Talvite? Now he should be in there. Yeah. He's in the Ben Bentley team Porsche, and he's also pulling into the pits. These guys are just getting ready for this Q session, which is coming up pretty quick here.
We do have a number of drivers that have fitted custom skins just to keep us on our toes, but hopefully our drivers do stick with the car that they started the season on. We do have some different rules, particularly because of patch 1.4 that came in recently. So drivers can't dilly-dally, as they say, in the pit lane. They've got to they get turned automatically and faced into the fast lane of the pit lane, but they can't stay there for very long. They have to get going, otherwise they get penalised. So drivers got to be very wary of that. So hopefully no one falls foul of that today.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that did. We did have a couple of posts, and what a great feature, though. You know, it just adds to the realism, I think, too. You can't be in the way in the pit lane. I mean, look at how strict they are in Formula One. You know, you'll really get a good scolding if you go out of line. Oh, it's we watch Robin Taylor just get a little bit sideways there. Where exactly is that Parabolica that he's starting into there? I couldn't see. Yep, he's in the Parabolica. All right. Speaking of that, let's get a look at the track map here. I have a shot of the track, as you can see, walking through this place. Only 11 turns here. So Ascaris, they're all Ascari Deviante, the Curva de Lesmos, the sisters up there 6 and 7. Good passing opportunity between 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's usually where a lot of overtakes happen at that Ascari 8, 9, 10 section. And then the straight down to Curva Parabolica, turn 11, the last turn, where you get it right on the apex starting in and you get on that throttle. Who gets on the throttle quickest will be fastest down that straight. And that's where those end of the line overturns take it. Turn 1, the most famous pile-up chicane in sim racing. I think there's been more wrecks there than there is grass on the field. It's crazy. But there's a good look at what the drivers will be facing today. So, yes, indeed. Monza is going to bring the best out of these drivers. They're going to need their best here. So it looks like...
I believe we are using the 2023 layout, and I think there has been some changes in 2026, particularly to the first chicane to perhaps ease some of the problems. So it's not just sim racers that have problems at that first chicane, the real drivers too as well.
Very good. Very good. Let's see. Just a look at what's... Let me see what we got here. The forecast for today, as we talked about this, there's no further forecast. Track maps Session info. Just the light clouds, like I said, 28, a little bit warm, and 38, 39 on track, which is to be expected as we lap down the last seconds of quali here. And let me capture these results. Very good. So let's see if this worked. I'm going to show you the practice. Hey, look at that. This amazing broadcast comes to you from our good friend. The links are in the description to get your hands on this thing. It's still in beta, but it'll be coming to us soon. We got 3 pages of results here, but this is the broadcaster's dream, this program. So check out the links in the description and go check it out and give him a shout out. So you can see 11th, 12th, and 20th. There's just a couple other guys. Larry Thomas, some 4 seconds off the pace there. And leading the way, though, as we saw, is Jitin Noyles with that 1 of 49. So as we are ready to go here for qualification.
You see all cars turned out of the pits automatically and facing the fast lane. It looks like we have a Mustang out on the track for our first driver. I think that possibly is Hugh Smith.
Believe you. Well, no, Hugh's still coming out. That Mustang must belong to Philip Fischler. No, no, Mark Ecken. No, let me guess one more guy. Yeah, it is Fischler, but he's still in the pits. So there we go.
Simon Bacon.
Thank you very much. He is first on track. So let's get the quality.
I think the Fords are one of the most popular choices. We can obviously hear from the sound-wise that they are a popular choice because they are one of the most noisiest cars on the circuit.
Right. So let's see if I can actually find who is out front. There, as you can see now, they're just going through Lesmos, the leaders. Nope, that's not him. We're getting closer. Tanner Sylvie is back in action this week. We missed him last week. I think he was watching his soccer game. Trying to find who's at the front. Hey.
So I think it's Lars Hagman that's made it out of the pits, and that yellow Lamborghini was setting the pace. Well, I was saying setting the podium pace last week, but he was a bit in no man's land. So hopefully, maybe Monza is a bit better suited to the Lamborghini.
Yeah. All right, I found the leader. It's Noyles. Noyles in that Porsche. He's going to cross the line here to start the first actual time lap, and here we go.
So lots of people got their drafting partners, hopefully. They're equidistant from each other. They don't want too much understeer from the car in front. There's a couple of people that are nose to tail. Hopefully they don't mess each other's laps up. They've only got 12 minutes or so to grab a couple of laps in, so they all seem to be grouped around the same part of the circuit, as we can see on the track map. But Gayton, our winner from last time out, he was pretty faultless. Didn't see any particular problems from him in that race. We didn't see much of him because he was out front.
Yeah, he did an amazing
job. The rest of the drivers were just fighting over the rest of the positions as he goes round. Commentator's curse there.
We gave it to you. Sorry. No. Yeah, that's what happens when you're pushing. All right, nobody's across yet, but we do have a purple sector, and it's Robin Taylor in that Mustang. He has gone purple in Sector 1, so he might have a first-time setup here since the leader put it in the ditch there, or actually spun it around. See how he's doing here. There's not. If I can get his on board. There we go. Oh, and Librero's purple. I love this onboard look too, with where you see the controls, but also the 3 boxes of the positions. So you can see Taylor was purple in Sector 1 there. Lebreau was also purple in sector 2, but somebody obviously beat him out because he's no longer there. But Hageman puts that first time up. He is provisional pole right now. So let's jump on board with Lars in that Lambo as he crosses the line here. Let's see what the Mustang does first. Puts himself into second place, quickly into third, as right on his tail is the Ferrari of Roman Lebreau. I guess that's what they call him. Good stuff.
So that is about a second slower than they did in practice. So we're looking at low 149s. So 150 is it obviously does take a little while for these tyres to warm up. And we did see that Lars didn't have a drafting partner because he was out front. So maybe that time is yet to be beaten. But the good starting time, good banker lap from Lars Hagman.
Yeah. Our good friend Michael Rizzo, he has a purple sector 2 going on right now. There he is currently in 19th, and he goes right to the top. Look at that, 49.8. So he breaks that 50 barrier as we watch Rizzo getting that lap in. Very nicely done. Michael Rizzo taking provisional pole away from Hagman. Well, let's see where Gaetan is. How did he say to pronounce it? Gaetan?
Gaetan, yes.
Gaetan. I love these challenges.
Spent a little while last week asking with these drivers to phonetically tell me their names, and some of them obliged. So,
yes. Well, he's currently in 17th, and I can't. Is he on an out lap right now? I can't tell. But that should have started. I'll put him on board. It might give us. There he goes. So interesting how if I put on the onboard HUD there, then we can see the times. If I take it away, the times go away. So first, fifth. So Robin Taylor's putting in a good charge there, but he is a little bit off in sector 1.
So certainly currently a Ferrari on provisional pole with a Lamborghini second. Lars Hagman, and a Ferrari in third with Lebreau, with a Mustang in fourth with Hugh Smith, and Julian Paws just pops in to fifth place in the Porsche. All covered by about half a second, it seems.
Back to Rizzo.
Rizzo is going fast with the purple sector in sector 2.
There he goes. Yes, indeed. Oh, and he puts up another time of 49.8. So they're chipping away. Meanwhile, Gaetan did get a purple sector 2. So let's keep an eye on him. Let's check out some of these onboard cams here. Got Rizzo in first. Lebreau still holding on to third. As we watch Gaetan go through that parabolica, he's going to come across the line. Let's see what happens. Can he improve? Oh, he's not going to do it, I don't think. Oh, he did indeed. He did do it. 49.4. Okay, very good. So there is your lap to beat right there. Gaetan putting it up there as usual.
Now, to be aware with, if you've not been with SimRacingOnline before, you'll know there are some specific rules that the drivers have to abide by, and I think one particular driver has not abided by those rules, and unfortunately it's a provisional pole sitter. If you do spin out on track, you have to make it back to the pits, and unfortunately Gaetan did not, so the stewards may take a look at that, so we'll have to see if that's a penalty after the race or what, but drivers have to remember to do their out laps, their fast laps and their in laps, just to make it a bit more authentic. But currently provisional pole with Noigs, with Rizzo in second, Hugh Smith third.
That was probably an involuntary breaking of the rules. It's so hard to think about that, especially if you race at other places that are more lenient on that. It's just a realism thing that we came up with years ago, where it's like, well, we don't want you to go out there, crash your car, and go as hard as you can. You have to take care of your car and make it around and be able to make it back to the pits to have your lap count. It's as simple as that. So we will see what happens upon race review. All right, any drivers of interest out here? Philip Pitchler in that other Mustang. I'm looking at, he's only got 2% of energy remaining. Where is my kind of idea where they are here?
He's running very lean, and he's coming down into the first chicane, so he thinks he's going to make it back to the pits with 2.4% in the tank, which but he's got a Porsche to follow. I'm not sure who that is in front. It's a bright blue Porsche there, but he's got a little bit of a drafting partner. But he's got to improve on 9th. We've got yellow flags on him.
Yeah. Yellow. We got a yellow.
Oh, I think that's possibly Hugh Smith having a little bit of a moment out of the Ascari chicane there.
Well, we have the ability to check the replay. Let's see if it was indeed Hugh. So here is Smith. Oh yeah, just a broadside, and into the wall. So yeah, very much busted himself up there. But now let's see if he abides by the rules here. I'm sure he's going to. He stays out of the way. All right.
I think Pitchler has just realised how less fuel he had, and he's making his way to the pits with not a lot of fuel left. So
there we go. Holy smokes! Yeah. Let's see what he's got. So I can show you the energy right here, and there he is, just a fraction left, 0% actually. I think is what the number is, 0.4 to be precise. So he cutting it close there, but good job getting back in there. All right, Shatan Rizzo.
Some varying strategies though. That a lot of people are going out on supposed race fuel. A lot of people are running it really lean. Down to the minuscule amounts of virtual energy. So there's a I don't know what the best strategy is. It looks like the people that have maybe taken the race fuel are actually the ones near in the top 10. So maybe that is the strategy.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Jetan Noyles, as I'm calling him, he's got 83%. He's pretty much race fuel. And then let's go down here. You look at someone like Mike Wrighton. This is Mike Wrighton's first race here with us. So welcome, Mike. Glad to see you in here. He's got it down there. He's in that 6%. So they run in lean, trying to get rid of that weight. Maybe get a little bit of a tow from someone and put it over the line. Devin McMullen, another new driver. He's also on the lean. He's in that Porsche number 23, currently in 18th. So good to see these new faces in here. Welcome these guys. This is awesome. Let's get as many in here as we can. And then we have Ollie Bateson, who also corrected his name. He doesn't swing the baseball bat. It is Bateson, and let's get that right. Rob, that's me. I've been butchering it for years. So sorry, Ollie, but I think we got it now. And he's on 2%, currently in 16th. So any threats up at the top here as we are down to the last under 3 minutes of quali left. So things are shaping up. Julian Paz, we haven't touched base with him, and he's still in the pits, but he does have a 150.2 up there. And there is Lebro also coming out of the pits for his last shot here with this 2-minute gap here. Also going out on full race fuel. So is it strategies or is it just they're not thinking about it? Who knows?
I do wonder whether maybe the car feels a lot better on race fuel. It's a bit strange that you want all the speed you can. You want a lighter car for particularly a track that relies on speed in general. So
yeah, good point. And there's Armando Ortenzi with that custom skin. That is a custom skin, isn't it? On Armando. Who's his teammate? I think they both have the skin. He and Rizzo.
Very similar to Rizzo.
Yeah, they're teammates. They are definitely teammates. All right, very cool. Same skin as last week, so good job on those guys. All right, 1 minute to go. Who's out? Who's not? Who's giving it up? These guys are mailing it in. Tony Talvitier going to give it a last ripper here. Stefan Winham is green, but he joined late. He's in a temp car, so we'll get back to Tony here, who's usually up in that top 10. Let's see what he can do. Oh, stop and go for Tanner Selby. Exceeded energy allowance. So there is our first percentage of 0 running out for Tanner, getting scolded there by getting a little bit of a penalty. That's a new feature too that Mr. Glover has put into this broadcast system. It's going to show us the penalty up top. Really good stuff. There he is.
I do wonder whether that's actually going to carry over to the race or not. I'm not sure the specifics about that rule. If you get an energy penalty, because obviously it's 100 seconds, so that's pretty brutal in a race situation. But in qualifying, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. We just don't know. All right, Calvitier, this will be his last lap for a shot. He's currently in 13th. Let me know if you see anybody else that might be. Oh, and he's off. So Tony is going to abort this, and he is going to be down. It looks like Selby's getting a stop and go of 10 seconds for the session. So I certainly hope that doesn't carry over for him, because that would not be cool. That would not be very cool. All right, we got it.
I think only third place Lars Hagman is currently to the personal best in the first, slightly down in the second. Is heading down the main straight towards the Parabolica. So this will be his final lap. So I think he's going to be the only one that could upset the top two.
Yeah, and it looks like he's a little bit off in sector 2. That target of 149.2, I don't think he's gonna make it. Nope, he's over 149.9. So there we go. Who's left? Oh, I think that's it. We're all done. So with that said, let's see what we got here.
I think we got about 3 cars left on the circuit. We got Osman just coming out the final corner.
That's what I thought.
So Osman goes up to 4th at the death there. And then we got 7th place Robin Taylor, I think, coming across the line. In fact, he might be going to the pits.
Let me recapture this.
Yeah, he's going to the pits.
There we go. All right, recapturing. There is Philip Fischler still out there. I don't know if his lap is going to count.
So I think he got across the line before it all finished, but this doesn't look like it's going at a terrific pace. But he's down in all 3 sectors.
Yes. Well, he's a little bit better in the last one there, so it's a little bit ahead. So does he move up? I
think he's going to improve up from 5th now.
All right. Well, let's try to show these again. I just captured them again. Let's see if I got it right this time. Okay, so there is our order. First, that 10 Noyles, that 149.2, so almost into the 48s, followed by Michael Rizzo, just half a second behind him. And just a little more than a half a second behind them is Lars. Those are your top 3. Julian Paz, good show in the Porsche, coming in 4th place. Philip Fischler got to 5th, not bad. And Conrad Osman, Robin Taylor, Mike Wrightson, Armando Ortenzia, and Nick Westy make up the top 10. And then on page 2, we got Salvitier that we saw him miss that. And look at Selby getting a 10-second stop and go. Oh, man, he is not going to be happy with that if that carries over to the race. So we shall see with that Le Mans rules. They're getting pretty strict with these. Anyway, Bjorn, 14th. Ollie Bateson in 15th. Simon Bacon, Devin McMullen, Lauren Martin, Stephen Wyndham, Larry Thomas to your top 20. And the last couple of drivers we have here, Steve Smith bringing it home in 21st. So there you have it.
But that's a bit surprising from Hugh Smith being at the back of the grid. He was a podium runner last time out, so I wonder what happened in qualifying. We did see him have that spin, so I'm wondering whether he abandoned his lap and thought, screw it, I'm heading from the back of the grid.
Yeah, that happened. I mean, I do that kind of stuff all the time. And I'll also go out on race fuel just because I want to feel how the car is going to be in anger on that first lap. So, but one never knows. All right, here we go. We have about 10 seconds to go before we go to the green. The drivers getting their final checks, getting ready for this turn 1. The chicane that takes everybody. A nice little formation lap here to line everybody up, get them a little bit warmed up. There is your top 5.
It's a relatively short formation lap at Monza, and it's only a short straight and one corner, so they will be going green in very short order. But Rizzo and Noyes on the front row. This should be spectacular down into turn 1.
Yes, indeed. As we check the field coming through Parabolica. It's a quick start too, isn't it, Woody? The line is right there, so these guys are going to be on it heading into that chicane. All right, everybody, hold on to your seats. Cross your fingers. Let's not have any pileups. Round 2, Monza. 75 minutes of racing. And we are off. Oh, there's a good start there. It's Jayden or Ollie Bateson is somehow on my spread in the back. They make it into the chicane. That was a mistake by me. There's Noyes. Rizzo right there. And we have an off there in the back. Who was that? Somebody's off going to down the sidelines. I'll make it through there. There's Bateson. Okay. So Rizzo on the tail.
Looks like a Ferrari lost it on the brakes coming into turn 1, and I think everyone survived, so no harm done.
Very good. They're making it through. Heading for Lesmos for the first time. These guys are making it through. Getting through there. Gajan doing what he does. Look at he's already got a gap.
Yeah, we did see this last week. He pretty much led. I'm going to say led from the front. He pretty much pulled away from the start. We didn't see him. So possibly the same type of strategy. But Rizzo, we know from the last season's rounds, he is a very, very quick driver. And now in the top 2, and tyre wear is going to be a thing in this race. So 75 minutes. Who keeps the tyres alive? There is a pit stop in this race, so I've got to save some for the rest. I think there's a yellow flag. 20th place is stopped out on.
It's Larry Thomas is out. So we get back to the action. So Larry, you saw Larry there. Let's get back to the interval.
And I think the only other driver to foul as penalties, I think Stephen Wenham in 14th got a drive-through for possibly incorrect positioning on the formation lap, so he will have a drive-through to pit in 3 laps.
And good news for Selby, the penalty did not carry over, it doesn't look like, but Wenham does have that drive-through. I'm trying to see what happened here as the results are coming across. Lots of overtakes going on. Mike Wrightson brought out a yellow. I'm trying to see what else happened down here.
I think we just had a disqualification for Ortenzi. He did say he had a drive-through penalty. And it said he's DQ'd. Not sure after that. We'll have to find out about that after the race. So that's a bit unfortunate.
Here is a replay of that, and this might show it. I think this is an overtake, though. He gets P7 right here. He's fighting and fighting with the Taylor. He gets the nose out. This is the replay. And, so just a little bit of contact. Boom, and into the wall. Unfortunate for Armando. So I'm curious to see what the penalty is, though.
Yeah, I did see him come into the pits to try and either serve a penalty or replace that rear wing. And you could see him trying to shuffle back and forth. Either his pit spot wasn't available to him. So he possibly got DQ'd for possibly sitting in the pit lane without getting serviced. So falling foul of the new rules, perhaps.
Maybe, yeah. But Definitely 3 drivers out now. Check on them. Julian Paz back here in 4th. With that Pitchler group. They make their way through. Baton making that fastest lap. It's a 150 so far, 3. Just behind Nick
Good battle on between 5th, I was going to say 5th, 6th, and 7th. They're having a good battle, Rob.
Yeah. We're following Nick Westy now. He's at the tail end of this battle. For 6th. So we'll be able to see the positions gained, lost, and the energy they have remaining.
So we did say in the build-up that Hugh Smith was starting on the back of the grid. He's made his way up to 8th place already, and he's on the back of Mike Wrightson for 7th place, and he's drafting down the back straight. So the yellow flag just coming out the Lesmos. No, that is already clear. So that Mustang power is still very strong at Monza. And
there you see him. Yes, he's taking his way. He's just about catching up to that group. If he can get through Wrightson here. And Wrightson's putting up a good fight as they are down that main straight with that Mustang on the inside with that Ford V8 power. Let's see if he can pull it off. Just a nose ahead, and he is on the inside for the chicane turn 1. Wrightson is not giving up, but he does have to let the Mustang through. He does a good job there fighting traffic. Now it's his turn to chase. That Mustang starts running away from him. As he's pointed out, he did make his way all the way through, so I believe his pace is going to be along with the leaders. Do we have any news on that? Westy putting in some green laps. Pitchler purple in sector 1 in that 5th position, so he's just fending off the other Mustang of Mr. Who is that? I thought that was Westy behind him, but Westy's in the BMW. Pitchler's in the, yeah, that's right.
And no one who's got the fastest lap. He is glued to the rear of this Porsche out in front of Julian Kors. Nice, I think that is the Iron Dames Porsche. So I believe it's 3rd, 4th and 5th quite close together here. So even though that Mustang has a little bit of an edge, that Porsche is possibly getting a slight toe from that Lambo ahead of him. So we'll see if they can keep within a second. They need to be probably within half a second to have any chance of passing in some of these chicanes.
They make it through the Parabolica there. Good 4th place battle. They're all on the medium tire, so we do not need any more info on that. As the gaps are growing, putting in some good laps. Let's get down the field here. We have the one penalty was for Orlando Otense. He's showing a penalty, but as he said, looks like he just threw in the towel probably after that. Because Hortense, Thomas, and Martin are out of this race. Stefan Wenham was bringing up the rear in that Mercedes. And then Barrett Erickson in his Lexus, currently in 17th. But usually a strong finisher, so we'll see what he does there. Wenham a little bit, he's the lowest on energy right now. When it gets to the energy, you'll see that he has less than the entire field. But meanwhile, back to the top here. Gaetan in that portion, building that gap. About almost a 4-second gap already. He's just so consistent.
So we did see this last week. there were a few exceptions with people maybe thinking a bit outside the box with their virtual energy. A lot of people just went with 100% from the start, but there was a couple of people that decided to do something a little different. And it obviously means they're going to be offset in strategy, and it obviously means that they will be in the pit lane when no one else is, because it's going to be a bit crowded, I would imagine.
There is this battle here for third, fourth, and fifth. So Lars, let's jump up to Lars. He is leading the way here with Paz, Pichler, and Westy. So this group of four fighting for that last step of the podium early on here, as we are coming up on just 10 minutes completed.
So I was looking at the biggest gainers of the race so far. As we mentioned, Hugh Smith, he's gained 14 places from the back of the grid. Another worthy mention is Devin McMullen, another 8 places. But unfortunately, looking down the order, it does look like Barrett Ericsson minus 7 places, down to 17th place.
Yes, he has lost a few. But boy, that Hugh Smith, look at that, 14th spot. I can show you that information right there. Very good stuff. Energy remaining. You can see Wenham down there. Just a couple tick tests. Oh, is it rough into the dirt cloud there? Was that Paz, I think, putting a little bit off in the, or it could have been Pichler right behind him.
So I think Lars Hagman and Paz have now dropped Pichler behind, and they're now in a 2-race battle, battling down the back straight. That Lambo Power has got some legs, but of course he's able to keep within a second or so. There's no DRS or anything silly like that, but these GT3s do have slippery in a straight line. Yeah. As we see, I think it's Tony Talviti is making moves. I've seen him going up the order. He's now up to 12th place.
Good job, Tony. There he is now. Yeah, he's leading the 12, 13, 14, 15 pack. With that Simon Wicken in the back there. Mark Aikens, good to see Mark in here. There's Mark. Cruising that Ferrari. All over Ollie Bateson. Looks like he's making a move. This will be an overtake for 13th spot. Ollie's got the inside though, he's holding on. Oh, and he does give it up, but Mark, no contact. Very clean, very clean. As they're battling through the parabolica side by side. Good stuff there. Oh, and the Porsche holds on, but what's going to happen down the straight? It's just by a nose. That Ferrari is on the outside. That's putting Ollie's got a good position here for turn 1. Something's got to give here into the chicane as they make it around, and Ollie wins that decision, and they live for another lap. Indeed. Atkins really putting on a fight there.
Yeah, I was holding my breath through that final turn. I was hoping that Porsche, the Porsche of Ollie Bateson wasn't going to wash wide. It looked like he was leaning on him a little bit, but I think it was just the fact that he was trying to go into the parabolica so quickly to gain speed up that main straight, and they were side by side. It was only because he had the inside line into turn 1, I think. Perhaps Ekins was decided that it's a long race. We've still got an hour to go. Let's play it safe.
Indeed. Best to live another day. Save it for the end. Following the 4th place car of Julian Paz. Meanwhile, let's take a look down here. Ericsson and Sylvie. There is Tanner's kind of on his own down there in 16th. No traffic for to say, so he's in a good spot to start doing some laps here, maybe make up some of that time. Simon Bacon ahead of him in 15th. There is a battle for 13, 14, and 15th there, so tightening up. And then Devin McMullen in that blue and black purple Porsche, very good. Being followed by Hagman. This is the 10th position, so for the top 10, 2 Porsches fighting it out there as they head down the straight. It looks like Bjorn might be looking to the inside. He's looking to outbrake him. Devin does a good job of keeping it up there with the Grim Reaper sickle Porsche there. Very nice. Bjorn right there
I
on
had
his
a
tail.
little look up to turn one, hoping to put him off a little, to maybe make him miss his braking point, but he unfazed McMullen continues.
There's Talvitier. Just look at how late braking Tony is. He is on a mission, man. Well, yeah, Tony. He's such a good driver. It's really fun watching him race. He is just, I guess if the term balls to the walls comes into play, it's for Tony for sure.
It's actually pretty unusual not seeing Tony in a blue car, because as many of our viewers might know, Tony is a Finnish driver, so he normally has a car in the colours of his Finnish flag, blue and white. So it's pretty unusual that he hasn't got a paint job to show off his country's flag, but I'm sure someone might be able to make one for him.
Right. Let me see if I can bring this up.
But the lead gap is now up to about 5.3 seconds. It's stretching out quite a lot between first, second, and third. It seems that Lars Hagman is the only one battling the cars behind for third, fourth, and fifth. But the rest of the cars seem to spread out. Still got an hour in this race, and we're expecting these drivers can possibly do about a 45-minute to 40-minute stint, depending on fuel saving. It doesn't look like anyone's fuel saving at the moment, as we've got a car for turn one.
Right. There was a discussion that we had for this series, making the just long enough to where you had to pit regardless, so you couldn't make it. And I think that opens it up for more flat-out racing, as you know you're going to stop, so there's no sense in trying to save fuel with, you know, that strategy is available where you can just floor it and go, pump it up, and stay on it the entire race. That was kind of the goal. But then the different strategies do play out, so interesting to see all the drivers with their ideas of how they might place themselves higher to finish. This battle for third is pretty good here. Pause right there. Keeping the gap, maintaining the gap until we get down to this other group. Is this Hagman and Tony? So Tony is catching up to the back of that other Porsche. So the Flying Finn and the Ben Mantley team is closing in.
Yeah, I think I did see a Porsche come off at the first chicane, the blue Porsche, and I think Ekins was the... in fact, maybe not. Maybe that's actually a lapped car. It was a blue Porsche. I can see a blue Porsche in the background behind Talviti, but he is right on the tail of Hagman. So maybe only a matter of time. And what kind of fight is Bjorn Hamlin going to put up?
Let's see. Oh yeah, welcome to my world. The constant cold. I work for the school district, and it's a petri dish. So we're constantly coughing and sneezing our way through life. Good stuff though. Is pause. Pitchler. Just about a second back. Lars hanging on to that gap. And that Lambo's just got that grunt down the straight. Check on the Devin McMullen in that Porsche. So he is leading Ekins, Betts, Bateson, and Bacon. That spot, the group behind him, and then that Tony Talviti Bjorn Hagman battle is just in front of him, and there that is. Robin Taylor currently in ninth. It's a little bit farther up the line from these guys, not quite a challenge yet, but there you see him go by. Oh, here we got it off. It's Devin. Loses it with the Reaper rig. Currently in 15th, he loses another spot down to 16th with that.
Yeah, supposed to be a couple of spins for McMullen, his tyres are probably feeling very second-hand, so maybe he'll be thinking about changing them at the pit stop. But a couple of spins at two different parts of the circuit, struggling with grip, it seems.
Yes, indeed. So yellow flag. Let's just take a look at this. I'm going to give a quick look at the replay here of what actually happened there. Who is this in the pink? Is that Selby? That? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's showing him off. I got to learn how to work this software here. If I click on this one, we should see it from his point of view. There it is. All right, and I can slow-mo it. Pretty cool stuff. It's just keeps it off the wall, though. Very good. All right, back to live action. Currently in fourth place, Julian Paz still closing in on Hagman. Got a couple seconds on him still, with Pichler right back there, that Mustang.
Seen someone drop down the order. I think someone's had a bit of an accident. So a yellow flag between the Lesmos there. Is it Tony Talviti? No, he is still closing on that Porsche head, so I don't know who that was that went around, but the Porsche to Porsche battle still going on between Jorn Hagman and Tony Talviti.
And then Hugh Smith just in the background there. Okay, don't forget about me, guys. But meanwhile, down that main straight there is the battle for third, with Hagman out in front and Pichler bringing up the rear there with Julian Page right in the middle. So Nick Westy in the BMW, currently in sixth. That BMW, I've been driving the BMW and LMU too. It's pretty good. My favorite BMW right now is the one in Assetto Corsa Eve. I really like the way that thing drives in Evo. So I've been trying them and all. I'll do a car and I'll try it in all the sims and see what I like. There's Pichler. 49.8 is the fastest lap of the race, still set up by U10 Noyles. Let's see, back to Devin on that spin. Let's see where he's at now. So he does have Sylvie in front of him. So there'll be the potential for a battle there. If he can see if he can close in on him there down these straights. It will be a Porsche on Porsche battle. Is he be able to close up a little bit there? Meanwhile, back to fourth place, Mr. Paz has really got the gap. Oh, we've got a yellow. Westy.
That's Westy that's going around.
Oh, Westy.
So he was trying to fend off Mike Wrightson. I think that car's looking a little settled second hand. The steering doesn't look that great. So you might have, another new feature in 1.4 is actually tyre punctures. So it looks like he's limping on the left front there.
Yes, he
so
is.
He will need to come into the pits and fix that.
Definitely into the pits. Let's see if we got a shot of that. It looks like it went. Oh, is he already damaged? So I didn't catch it in time. So he's already out of trouble. He's in big trouble there. All right. Fair ball. Yeah, he's definitely got a flat. Okay, back to live as we see him pull into the pits. Meanwhile, Michael Rizzo, second place. About to put down, I think that's Stefan Winham in the silver Arrow. About to go down a lap to the second place car. Stefan's a survivor though. He finishes most of the races he starts. Sort of like me. As Westy is in the pits for repairs now. And as he gets through, he's probably going to let him through. I'm sure he's seeing a blue flag. As he goes to the outside, he's still fighting. I mean, nobody wants to go a lap down, but sometimes you just got to face the music, not your fight, as he lets him through. Nicely done by Stefan Winham there. The Westie's still in the pit box. Ericsson got through that, so Ericsson's up to 16th now, making his way from the back. So hopefully Barrett just hanging in there. All right, up to the tippy top. There is your leader. And he is leader by quite a bit. But that best lap of that 1:49.8. There is the gap, 2 seconds.
Just noticed that McMullen has retired. He was running in the top 10 at least. Just seemed he may have come to grief at the Parabolica, and he may have called it a day. I'm not too sure what happened after that, but McMullen is our next DNF.
Crazy how that works.
So one of the closest battles on track at the moment is Mike Wrightson and Robin Taylor. Now that Nick Westie, unfortunately, span probably not far from the front of Mike Wrightson. Robin Taylor has decided to pull on the pressure, and you can see the battle for between Tony Tauviti and Hagman. It looks like Tony Tauviti has got past Hagman as well for 8th and 9th, so his next target is Robin Taylor. So maybe this two-car battle of Wrightson and Taylor is now going to be a three-way battle with Tauviti, the stalking Finn.
Yes. He is closing in on Taylor. There is Taylor right there. Those all got Wrightson, so this is a nice little group right here battling. 6th, 7th, and 8th. Nick Westie now going to have some work to do. Now out of those pits. Let's check in on Hugh Smith. Smith's the group behind here in that other Mustang. And he left somebody in the dust. Like somebody was stuck at the chicane there as we see this gaggle of cars making their way. Bjorn, the other Hagman brother, closing up into 9th now. Tauviti's got himself in 8th, slowly moving it up.
Yeah, it did seem like Hugh Smith was making big progress up to where he is in 10th place. But his progress has stagnated. He's now about 1.5 seconds, or 2.5 seconds adrift of Smith. So he's not adrift of Hagman, rather. He's not got any benefit of draft. So maybe hoping the Mustang power can bring him forwards a little. But still impressive to come from the back of the grid all the way up to 10th place, with 47 minutes to go in this race, so still a long way to go.
On board with Hugh Smith down that straight. Into the Parabolica. Look at how quick he's on the gas. Very nicely done there. He is just right away on it. On all these guys. You get the rhythm, you get the tempo, you get the timing down, and it just opens up for you. Check on
I was just reading some messages from some of our drivers. Romain Lebroy was unfortunate for he was unable to start this race. Had a game crash just before we started, so unfortunately he will miss round 2, but hopefully we'll have him back for round 3.
Oh yeah, I got that now. In fact, I want to figure out a way to bring the chat up onto the screen. Yeah. We have fuel rate. Yeah, they're trying to explain it to him. The Mustang's a real dragster. Get some good chats in there. Oh, is that John Vandergeest? Yeah, he's in there. Seems like the Porsche. Yeah. Good job. Glad you guys are watching. Hang in there. We found it this far. If you made it this far with us, we apologize. But thanks for joining. All right, Tanner. Simon Bacon, where are you in the Mustang? Chasing down Ollie Bateson. The battle for 12th. Oh, as he gets a little bit of curb there. Nicely done. And Mark Ekins. Not too far ahead of these guys in 11th. So that puts them, he's got a little bit of a gap there. But, and then Hugh Smith, all those places made up, as he said, but he's found his spot now. He's just in that 10th position, not really going anywhere, but you can see that group of cars just in front of him. Bjorn there, just right there is that gap for that Porsche. So if he could just get a little bit closer and maybe get a little bit of a toe of that Mustang's power, he might have a shot at getting up with these guys. There is the flying pin Talbitier. He might have a
Robin Taylor seems to have the legs in sector 1, because I presume lighting up the timesheets, putting purple sectors in. I mean, sector 1 is only a chicane and the Curva Grande, really. So he's able to stay in the draft of Mike Wrightson, but that stalking Porsche of Tony Talviti is not far behind. And you've seen how he's been pushing over these last few laps. So kicking up the dust behind as well, but this battle between the McLaren and the Ford of Robin Taylor is about to hot up.
Here they come. Mike Wrightson really putting up a good fight here. He is all over him. He's going to the inside. It's going to get messy. It's going to get messy. Well, they both squeaking through. Very nicely done. Very good driving by both drivers. Oh, and he loses it. Taylor again. Off. Oh, Taylor. Really get it back on the track and see what kind of damage he's got. Oh, is he drivable?
It looks like he's possibly a puncture on the left front there. Looks like that car is grabbing, particularly on a clockwise circuit. Having a front left puncture is not ideal, so he's going to have to come to the pits.
There he is.
So they were side by side for a little bit. They looked like they were leaning on each other through the Ascari chicanes, but it just looked like possibly Robin Taylor popped over the curb and got that rear end of that Mustang all out of shape.
Most unfortunate.
Ended in the collision.
But that puts a smile on the face of Wrightson and Talviti as they both jump up a spot. Everybody's going to get back on top of Taylor there. In the pits for repair. Hopefully get back out here. Race is about, we're not quite halfway yet. About. And Chetan, this guy's just an animal, man. He's got almost 10 seconds on the field. We're talking about a lesson in consistency. This guy is something else, man.
So as you said, Robert Wrightson is now moved up a place because Robin Taylor came to grief, but he's got rid of one combatant, but he's now got Tony Talviti right up his exhaust pipes down the back straight in the same place that Robin Taylor had a go. So maybe that McLaren is lacking a bit of straight line speed in the places that that Porsche is not. But he's able to get out the Ascari chicane quite cleanly. But again, there is a stalking Porsche in the background of Hagman that's licking his lips and thinking he wants maybe to have a part of this. But there's slight marks on the front of the bumper of Tony Daviti. So I wonder whether he's been pushing over those curbs a bit too much.
Indeed. As we were watching an onboard shot of the leader with the HUD on, just this guy's consistency is really good. His speed. The mistakes he makes are so minimal that right there on the gas. So good stuff there by your leader. So yeah, Talviti, Hagman, Smith is just dropped back a little bit. It's not really able to close that last couple seconds there to get up on these guys. But if he can catch up to these guys, I think he's got a shot. Then behind him will be Ekins, holding on to that 10th with Ollie Bateson not too far behind. But that Wrightson, oh, somebody's out. Is that the Silver Arrow? Yes, the Silver Arrow of Wynnum. Tough spot.
That was unfortunate. Tony caught them at the Lesmo too.
Yes.
Wrightson was able to get through. And unfortunately, Tony played it safe.
So there is the odd fall out that the traffic, comes into play. Just Wynnum in that tight spot. There's really no other line to take through Lesmo. Once you've committed. And that kind of plugged him up a little bit and allowed Tony to get right up him, but it did not help out Smith. As Smith now finally getting around the back marker of Wynnum, holding his own back there. Simon Bacon's got his personal best Sector 2 lap in that Mustang as he's chasing down Ollie Bateson. Oh my gosh, Tyner Selby has just received a drive-through for track limits. He is not going to be happy about that. There he is in that bright pink, beautiful Porsche. So he will be serving that drive-through in the next 5 laps. I think he gets 3 to 5 laps. Let's see if he dives in now or he's just going to keep his foot in it. You got to cool down a little bit after you get mad about it.
I think it's very easily done at Monza. It's hopping over these the inside curves or running wide through some of these faster chicanes. It's very easy to do to get a track limits violation. But Tony Daviti is right under the rear wing of the McLaren of Wrightson. He's got a good run up to the Lesmo 1. I wonder if he's going to have a go into Lesmo 1.
He's looking like it. He's on the inside, but look at that. Wrightson just keeps his foot in it. It stays to the outside, but it looks like he's got the inside now. Delvitier's got the spot, and he makes the pass, and he makes it count if he can keep it off the curves. Lesmos, yes, indeed, he pulls it off. Now let's see. It also looks like Hagman's going to try for it, too. It's Bjorn next, trying to take advantage. I think that there wasn't any kind of a slip-up. I think Tony just had the run. There is on board with Bjorn, chasing that McLaren down. That McLaren's got some grunt, man. It is one of the nicer cars to drive. Also one of the free cars. But I think any committed sim racer that likes LMU, you're going to own everything. I mean, why wouldn't you? This sim it's really popular. It's really good. It's really taken hold with the sim community. I mean, online servers are full most of the time. You can go on and get in a race any time of day, it seems like, which is really great for sim racing as a whole.
So I think I've just seen a couple of people come into the pits. Unfortunately, Stephen Wynnum came into the pits, but he's got a speeding penalty. But Hugh Smith is one of our first of the front runners to pit.
Indeed. So he's loading up on gas. You can see he's already filled the tank there. It's going up now. You can watch the percentage it's climb there as he's highlighted on the tower. So he's ready to rock. It's going to move things around. There is your third place car of Lars Hagman, and right behind him, Julian Poss, still in this battle, but Pitchler using that Ford to try and just get his way up there. He's slowly, lap by lap, getting closer and closer and closer. See if you can get a tow here. A battle for fourth. Oh, this could be it.
Whether we were discussing Hugh Smith earlier, wondering whether he was possibly in a bit of no man's land. So I wonder whether he pitted to get out of the possibly the draft or the understeer area of the car in front, and possibly get some clean air and come out on the track. He joined in 13th place as Barrett Ericsson pits from 14th.
Good point, Woody. Could be Fischler fighting it out here. Top 10. There is the difference. Just in front is Hagman. There is the last step of the podium right there as we hit the 35-minute mark. And then Rizzo. These guys are spread out pretty good. I mean, it's got a 9-second gap, but the 10th gap is huge. So 8-8 to Rizzo, and Rizzo's as the Lambo. That's a good fight here for that 4th position. Does Philip have it? He's getting closer every lap to head into Parabolica. Selby's in the pits. I don't know if he's serving his drive-through or not. Oh. Well, pause comes in. So Julian picking his pit stop now. As they, who bet, will it be tires and gas? We don't know. They all have the same kind of tire, so it'll just show medium. But it should show, I believe, that he added to it. It will show you if it's a new tire or bad tire or old tire. We'll see if that pans out as the information on the tower cycles. Meanwhile, back to the action. Talvitier in 5th now. Ahead of Wrightson. Opened up a little bit of a gap on Mike. That's good. That was most of the race. Fighting him. Bjorn Hagman in the Porsche will be next. So it's being sandwiched by the 2 Porsches now. Talvitier got around. This pause is out of the pits now. And I think that's Robin Taylor. Or is that Hugh Smith? Nope, Hugh Smith is over there. So yeah, it is Robin Taylor that came out just ahead of, did pause. But he's a lap. He's on a different lap, so pitted and came out in 10th place, did Julian. So keep an eye on that. And Tanner Selby, is he gonna do his penalty or not? We don't know. He's still got that drive-through, and here he comes in now. So let's see if he pulls it. Nope, this is a legit stop. Is it a stop and go or a drive-through? Oh, he's retired. He's out. So he's going to retire the car. I guess he figured he's out. He's over it. We'll see you later. That's what happens. Got to have thick skin to be a sim racer. There is your 2nd place car. And there is 3rd place Lars. Trying to see. Ekins. currently in 12th, making its way towards that top 10. As the attrition rate continues here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 cars out now. Hugh Smith back in action.
So looking at the virtual energy, a lot of people are going to be cutting it a bit fine. We think that it's about 3 or 4% to make it around a lap-ish.
Yeah,
so a lot of the drivers, as we see the leader coming into pit lane,
they are all in the red. So up on the jacks, that's Rizzo following him. Come out, and that's what Lars going to do. They're all coming in. The top 3 have all come in. So it's monkey see, monkey do, and that's going to put Fischler in the lead. He's going to stay out. And he's got 3.5% energy left. So that's enough for a couple of laps. Didn't he make it all the way around when it was, what was it, 2 point something a lap?
Yeah, he did. He crawled into the pits.
Right.
So I don't think 2.4 was enough, but he's going to lead for a lap.
So here comes the leader. He's coming out, and he lost 1 position. And Bjorn is right behind him now. In the 2, Porsche blue and off-colored Porsche. So where does that put Rizzo? Rizzo is just a few car lengths behind. Batson moves up. Bateson, sorry. Lars in the Lambo came out. Came out in 6th position. So see what happens as these stops pan out. So there are your pit stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the whole bottom of the field has pitted, it looks like. Some for damage, some for their routine and fuel. So interesting to see what's going to happen there. Just to get the rest of these guys out.
I think the drivers yet to pit. We've got Fischler out in the lead. He's not pitted yet. Hagman has decided to stay out for 1 lap longer. He's currently in 3rd. He was right up the exhaust pipe of Mike Wrightson. And I saw Mike Wrightson came into the pits, and they're actually in the pit box next to Tanner, next to Tony Tauviti, which was quite interesting. But Tauviti had enough gap to get out in front. But Fischler now pits.
There he goes, the temporary lead. There is Tauviti. So he's just ahead in 9th position by himself of that group behind him of Wrightson. So he got himself a pretty nice gap, actually. All of these guys have pitted now.
Yeah, so keep an eye on Bjorn Hagman, because remember, he was tucked up behind Wrightson when he came into the pits. And he's just entering the pit lane now, so it's possibly going to be close on exit, depending on how they did their pit stops and strategy.
Still parked. Paz gets through. He's still, whoa, he's getting angled, and here he comes. All right, so Hagman's out. It looks like Tauviti, who's that? Who's the other one? That's Bateson. Bateson is the other Porsche pitting. Bateson's having a great race today, by the way. Keeping up there in that top 10.
Yeah, so Wrightson's just coming down the pit straight as Bjorn is just exiting pit lane, so I think he's made a place in the pit stop.
There it is. There he goes. And where is Bjorn? He's out already. So he's closing.
He's made up a lot of space on Tony Tauviti in front as well. Look at the amount of space that Tony Tauviti has. He's not far behind. So he's now in the sandwich, whereas he was at the back of this group.
Right.
So Tony Tauviti still leads the group, but there's switch around in the pit stop. So I wonder whether Wrightson has actually got any straight line speed for these Porsches. I was just looking at the timesheets. I swear it looks like the other gain in the pit stops, I believe, is Hugh Smith. And I think he was the first of the pitters, but he's now 0.5 seconds behind Wrightson for 8th. So he's made up a bit of time for pitting early. Remember, he pitted with no one to interfere with in the pit lane. So they have a little bit of time. So maybe the charge now begins for that Mustang.
Here's a throat to that thing. Get a little bit of a toe here, see if we can do anything. That McLaren's very good all-around car. Oh, catches on him a little bit in the braking. Let's see who gets the exit here. That McLaren, looks like it's starting to pull away a little bit earlier on the gas. To the chicane.
So this is a 6-round series. This is round 2. So we're at Fuji for round 1. And the Temple of Speed for round 2, of course. But we've got round 3 coming up, which is the Spa, a simulated 24-hour, 90-minute race. So people have got to figure out their strategies for that.
Yeah, looking forward to
and
that.
For round 4, we're going to heading to Sebring, the bumps of Sebring.
Be a true test of shock. ETA still keeping Eggman in his mirrors. Meanwhile, 3rd place, Lars. So you can see after the pit stops, everything has straightened itself back out with Neugels, that lead in Rizzo, Hegman the top 3, Paz Pichler top ETA 4, 5, 6, and Hegman, Wrightson, and Smith with Mark Ekins bringing up the top 10, and there is Mark right there. So Mark's got a group not too close behind him. Got that Simon Bacon group. Bateson. I think there's some lap cars. Meanwhile, Robin Taylor still alive and kicking, down in 13. Still got some 23 plus minutes here to make up some ground as the 2 blue Fords are going to fight each other here for position. I believe that's a lap car. The other blue Ford. No, maybe not. He's trying to unlap himself. That's not Hugh Smith, it's Pichler. So the 5th place car of Pichler and Taylor in 13th. So
remember that Taylor had that accident and had to pit for damage, so a bit of strategy and a lap down, but obviously got a little more pace than Pichler at this portion of the race, and wants his lap back.
Yep. See if he can get back on that lead lap. Anything can happen.
I mean, looking at the lap times, they're still running in the mid 150s. Just looking down at Robin Taylor, high 51 that last time around, so maybe he's losing a bit of ground following another car, and he possibly just wants to clean out. And Hugh Smith is right under the rear wing of Wrightson, coming down the back straight into the Ascari chicane. Like he got a little bit loose over the curbs there. Can he actually hold it down the back straight? He's now right under the rear wing and in the draft. Do you make a move here, or do you leave it to the main straight?
So decisions you have to make there. If you're going to late brake and try to make a run down the straight, you need to get the exit out of the parabolic up to have any chance. Look at that Mustang, he's getting in the draft, but he's gonna have time. He's running out of room. Definitely can catch up to him, but what can he do once he gets there? He's looking to the inside, gonna outbrake. He's taking the pass. And Wrightson just pretty much lets him go, puts him in a defensive fight to keep everything safe, and just realizes that he's got to live for another day. It's his turn now. He can come back on you with something.
I did think that Hugh Smith it looked like he stalled in the draft there. It didn't look like he had enough power to get past. But a late pull out from the rear of the McLaren, and he was able to do it on the brakes, and Mike Wrightson had no reply to it. He just said go ahead, but he did have a slight look up the inside of the second chicane, but I think Hugh Smith now has the legs on this McLaren and is possibly going to pull away.
Here is Pichler. That is Taylor on his tail there, trying to get that lap back, but there's Robin. He's hanging in there though. You got to finish, like you said. The points, I'll tell you, if you get points all the way down. And don't forget, there are points for fastest lap in the race and fastest lap in quali, and that is what put Gatan out front by the 2 points. He got 42 points total, 40 for the win, a point for fastest lap in quali, and a point for fastest lap in the race. So there is a incentive there to get a good lap in, get yourself a point. Fourth place car.
So it's 40 points for the lead, 40 points for first, 36 for second, and 33 for third. And I believe Gayton was actually able to get the clean sweep last time. He got fastest lap and pole, which gave him 42 points.
Exactly. Where is Dalvitier? The flying Finn, it's out by himself. He's got a pretty good spot now. Or Bjorn has falling back just a little bit. 1.8 is the gap, as you can see there. Lots of information on the driver tags down there. Tire, the energy, their best lap. Good stuff. All right. Everybody's pretty much spread out.
Just under 19 minutes to go, and I was just looking at the gap between fifth and sixth. It was about 20 seconds. So all that time that Tony had to work his way up from the back has taken its toll. But the top five, again, they're all spread out. We've got at least 10 seconds between the first and second, and a further 14 seconds back to third. So squeezed out. It's just groups of two now around the circuit. As we have another stop and go for Stephen Wenham. Has not found, unfortunately, his pit limiter. Speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, another one bites the dust. All right. So, looking for some battles here. Wrightson not really chasing down Smith after that. He seems to be able to pull away now. Got anything for him down the straight.
But strangely enough, we did see when they were doing some practice that lap times were going down to the low 49s. But the leader, Gayton's only been able to put in a 49.8. So I wonder whether he's possibly pacing himself, or whether they're possibly cold temperatures are playing a role with grip. But again, he's been unchallenged since the start of this race, and Rizzo has not really had a response. But it'd be good for Rizzo to get a podium out of this race. And Lars Hagman, leader of the World Series, currently in third place, so good points for him.
Well, it looks like he might have gained a little bit on him there, maybe. It's a 2+ second gap. Battle for P8. Still a good show for Wrightson here. This is his first event, I believe. And where is Gordon's out. Hortensi's out. Devin's out. Tanner's out.
Looking down the list of Virtual Energy, remember Nick Westy had that little spin where he had to fix a puncture and possibly some damage, and he looks like he's possibly going to have to pit again because he's only on 3.5% Virtual Energy, so with only 15 minutes to go, he can't get around to the pits or finish this race on 3.5%. So Nick Westy not having the best of times. He had a little bit of a nightmare at the end of the race in Fuji Speedway, so perhaps better luck in the third round.
And what happened to Conrad? Conrad, all of a sudden, he's not around. I don't even see him as DNF. Last week's Sportsmanship of the Race award goes to Conrad Osman, but he was in practice. I don't see him. Mysteries continue. WTA. Not too many battles here. Mid. There is Ekins. Ekins is just ahead of these guys. This little group here. Who's we got? Chasing down Wrightson, but it's a 12-second gap. Not quite trusting the track map. It's kind of showing things out of position. There is Bacon. Ericsson up to 14th. Staying steady. Not Lexus. So he's got a bit of damage on the left front and maybe it bashed into something there. Can't tell for sure.
So looking up some of the championship points, we know that Gaten's leading with 42, but we are missing Mate Skobler, who's actually second in the championship at the moment. So he's going to drop down the order.
Yeah.
But Lars Hagman is possibly going to overtake him. Well, he's definitely going to overtake him for second place. Hugh Smith, currently in fourth place in the championship, is possibly going to make. He's currently in eighth, so he's going to make up a few points. But unfortunately, Osman, as he's not on, I don't see him actually on the leaderboard, so he may not score in this race, which is unfortunate. And Rizzo, down in sixth place, is going to pick up a few points for second. Hopefully, that's not a commentator's curse, Rob.
No. The field is pretty spread out now as far as the top 10 battles here. The 2-second gap on Fischler that Julian Paz holds in that Porsche over that Mustang. If Philip has anything for him here. See him just ahead there.
So I think the balance of performance is still in effect, and it varies per circuit. But we do see there are three Porsches in the top four. So that seems to be the car for Monza at the moment, along with the Mustang in second and fifth. But it does swing in roundabouts. Maybe the next circuits on the calendar might suit some of the other cars. So, but Gaten Noig seems to be making the most of it. Is possibly going to do a clean sweep this time around.
Yeah, and of course that next race in 2 weeks will be the 24 hours of Spa. 24 simulated hours crammed into 90 minutes of racing. So the race will start in the day, we will go through the night, and then it will end in the morning. 90-minute special event for round 3.
Hopefully no sprinkles or showers or anything, Rob.
Well, we don't know yet. Don't give me any ideas. WTA. That 4-second gap. I believe that is Barrett just ahead of him there. Into 14th, so Talvitia's got to find his way around. As he gets it into the parabolica. And Barrett gives him plenty of room to let the 6th place car of Tony Talvitie through. And then not too far behind these guys is Bjorn Hagman. Right there. So as we are at the 10 minutes remaining mark, it's time to get out the chocks. Put that pedal to the floor. Place Talvitie. Hugh Smith up to 8th now. So positions gained, position lost for Hugh Smith. So there he is leading the way in that category with 13. Wrightson.
Just seeing some messages in chat about a lot of people were commenting about 75 minutes is a long old time to be racing, and particularly if you're in the UK and Europe, it's not going to be too cold. So hopefully these drivers have got some air conditioning in their sim racing room, because I know I haven't been doing much sim racing because it's just too damn hot.
So now it is 8:30, 9 o'clock at night though for you guys, right? And it's still, what's the temperature like?
I shall consult my temperature gauge.
I'm very curious because I'm in the US and it's just after 1:30 my time PM, and we've had a little bit of a heat. It was in the 90s the other day Fahrenheit, so I don't know, Fahrenheit is a ridiculous number. I mean, it makes sense, you know, 0 is freezing, right, for you guys.
So for us in the UK, I mean, it's probably cooler outside, but bear in mind I'm sitting in sitting next to 2 PCs that were pumping out a lot of heat. It's about 28 degrees Celsius.
All right. So similar to what we have.
Which is 82 degrees Fahrenheit.
And it's 23 Celsius. Air track is 29. So, yeah, you're cooking. Put the equipment to the test. All right, here is the... Oh, I shot there. Back there, Dust. Who was that? Well, while we've got a minute here, there is a... This just came over the wire, the overtake of that Tony got, but this was at the 39-minute mark. So let's take a look at Tony's overtake and see if it was... Yeah, this is over Wrightson. This was for P6 earlier in the race. As he got the inside, they were tight like a neck. Wrightson was a little bit the outside. Tony just hangs on. That's good stuff there by Talvitie. They were all nice and tight back then. We're all spread out now. There is Wrightson now. Oh, Simon Bacon gets a drive-through for track limits, so another one bites the dust. Got to be careful on these curbs. So
I think I did see him just kind of coming out of the pits. He may have got track limits for going over the pit exit line, because I think he was just coming out of the pits. If you do cross that, you've got to stay to the right-hand side and not cross that white line onto the racing line. So possibly falling foul of that little rule there. So unfortunately, that's going to give him a drive-through.
Here's the overtake from Julian Paz was overtaken by Pichler. What happened there? Oh, it was the pit, so never mind. I'm just looking at my highlighted replays to look at. So back to live action. All right, there's your third place driver, Lars, in that Lambo, just holding steady. Everything's on course, everything according to plan. He takes the nice wide exit out of Parabolica there. Get him launched down that main straight. Rizzo, 14 seconds ahead of him now? 16. Then G10 way out there. At 148.8, still the best lap of the race, and that was early on. So even as the fuel burns down, these guys are not really going any faster. Hugh Smith.
Yeah, I think it's possibly a lot of these drivers have not pitted for tyres, and I think maybe that's where some of the drivers gained in the pit stop. So perhaps Bjorn Hagman was one of those drivers. So because he did leapfrog about one or two drivers in the pit stop space.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening when you throw a pit stop in the mix. Makes for some good racing. Talvitier still holding on to 6th. All by his lonesome out there. He has left Bjorn and Hugh back here to fend for themselves. There is Bjorn and Smith. That's how far back Smith is. You can see him up there. Into that Parabolica. How do you really get, or that wasn't the Parabolica, Lesmos, excuse me. So we have hit the 3-minute mark. It's 3 minutes and 37 seconds. It's going to be under 3 to go here in half a minute. Who's going to be able to push us to see the lap times come across? All the 150s, 151s, 150s. That's what they're running right now. So I think you're right, Neil. I think that the tire degradation, some of these guys just gas only. There's Talvitier.
It's a very consistent pace. We've not really seen those lap times jump up and down at all. So the leaders have been in the 49s, low 150s for the majority of the race, and down from about 4th to about 7th place have been in the mid 150s, high 150s. So these guys have been able to keep to a very level grade lap time wise, so very consistent running.
Taylor's in 12th now. Ekins in that, holding on to that top 10 spot in that Ferrari. As we 20 seconds remaining. Where is the leader? Gonna have this and one more, I would assume. Flying off the curb there. Second place, Rizzo. Got them 16-second lead.
A penalty for Simon Bacon, but it doesn't actually tell us what it is, so that's a bit of a mystery.
Yeah,
He's currently down in 15th place, but it just says penalty.
I think that was the one that he had a track limit. It was track limits, I believe. Fischler's made it to the top 5. He's just holding on with Talvitier behind him, but by some point of a margin. He's only 2 seconds back of 4th position, and where is Talvitier? Is some 8 seconds back of Hagman. So it's not showing me the difference between him and Fischler, but it's showing the gap he has on Bjorn. But I wanted to see how close to Fischler he was.
Of course, Fischler was one of our drivers that won the World Series in 2025. I believe it was because we had 4 different series, and this World Series will be the same. This is the second of which it was just a very consistent run. He was always there and always scoring points, which is how he came away with the win.
Indeed. And there was a couple of wet races where he really took an advantage. His finish, a lot of guys were pushing and crashing. So Stefan Winham's still in it. I believe that is Bjorn.
This looks... The leader is possibly going to be doing his last lap. He's just coming into the first chicane, so this will be his last time through the Varianta chicane. Heading up to the Lesmos. So a very consistent run from Gayton in the Porsche. He's not really put a foot wrong, but there might be a little bit of a question mark upon the stewards look at about that qualifying. He may get a little bit of a slap on the wrist for that. But other than that, full marks. Possibly going to be 42 points in the bag. Correct. Comes up to the Variante Ascara for the last time.
He might lose his fastest lap point in quali for that maneuver, and we'll go to the next fastest lap. We'll let the stewards decide. Be a fly on the wall in that meeting. All right, on the Parabolica for the last time. Time is expired, and here is your winner for round 2 at Monza. Another green to checkered finish by Gaetan Doyles. There he is. First place in the championship. First place in the race. Very nicely done. And here comes Rizzo finishing second. Not surprised with that. He did really good in the multi-class. He was the GT3 winner in the multi-class. Taking second in Lars Hagman coming through the Parabolica to claim the last step on the podium. A race well done by all top 3 guys. And then finishing behind him is Julian Poss in the white Porsche with Fischler on his tail. He goes through, and here comes Fischler. There's your top 5. And Tony Talvitier making a nice run coming from back in the pack after qualifying to take 6th place home. He'll be happy with that. Did a decent job today. Very good. And then Bjorn in the other Porsche. And Hugh Smith making a last-minute run. He's really right there with him. That was probably the closest battle that we had going there. And Mike Wrightson, really good job for Mike in his first race here at SimRacingOnline. In this series, very, very good with a 9th place finish over Hugh Smith in 8th. Mark Ekins in that top 10 in that Ferrari. Good to see Mark finishing in the top 10. Very well done. And Ollie Bateson coming down in that Porsche to take on 11th. Run well, Woody. Not a lot of craziness going on, but some really good stuff.
It's not really what you expect from Monza. They were pretty well behaved. We did see a little bit of outbreaking themselves into turn 1, possibly cold brakes. But the rest of the race seemed pretty standard. Some great battles out there, Rob. Yes, indeed. There is your winner. Very good. Very good. All right, let me capture this with this amazing software.
And that should be able to show us the results right here. There are your unofficial results until we get with the stewards. Top 10. Like Noyles, Rizzo, Eggman, Paz, Pichler. Then 11th through 20th with Larry Thomas down there with the DNFers. There was one more. And it's down there. Where is my pick here?
We did unfortunately have a couple of people that I think fell foul or some formation lap problems. So a couple of DNFs which hopefully we get rectified for next time out. So we'll be good to see over 20 drivers for round 3.
Yeah, hopefully they can all show up. Couple of highlights. Let's see if any of these will work. Let's see. Robin Taylor. I'm looking. Drive-through penalty for Tanner. No, that wasn't what we're looking for. Overtake for P6. This was the overtake for P6. If it plays. I'm sorry if it doesn't. And it won't, because the server has shut down. So as soon as the server's gone, we lose all our stuff. So with that said, that is going to be it for today. Now let's look forward to 2 weeks from today at Spa in the day-night transition 24-hour race that hopefully won't have any rain. I mean, I have a feeling it gets kind of damp at night at Spa. There might be some mist, might be some light rain. We just don't know exactly yet. But in any case, we hope to see you there. And if you made it this far with us, again, we apologize for hanging out with us, but it's been great. It's been fun. It's been great fun. Thank you, Woody, for all the accommodation and the hard work you did on all our result files. All that hard work is done by Woody. I just am here to screw around and have fun. So with that said, we're going to say goodbye and hopefully tune in 2 weeks at Spa, and we will see you there. And don't forget, coming up on the calendar, we've got the AMS2 series coming up, the new Formula series. It's going to be great. You guys can, if you haven't jumped on that yet, you really need to go check out SimRacingOnline. Get to the website. Everything's right there on the front page. It's going to be round 1 and on the Formula Edge and AMS2. Now we've scheduled to broadcast this race. I'm going to be gone. I have a concert that night. But are you thinking about doing it, Woody?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go. And I know that AMS2 is not the best for broadcasting, but come on, it's the Formula Edge. It's the 1995 Formula 1 car. So what can he? It's awesome. Classic F1.
It's awesome. It is such a good mod. Oh my gosh! If you have not driven that mod, you need to get AMS2 and get behind the wheel of that thing, especially in VR. It's an incredible experience. All right, Woody. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, SimRacingOnline, and we will see you next time.